Now in the last part of this question then we've got to show that 1 plus x times 1 minus 2x to the power 5 is roughly 1 minus 9x if we ignore terms in x squared or higher because x is very small. So to do this then, what we need to do is just simply write out what the question is. So we'll just put in that we've got 1 plus x multiplied by 1 minus 2x all to the power 5. So what is this going to be roughly equal to? Well, it's going to be 1 plus x multiplied by the expansion, the binomial expansion on 1 minus 2x to the power 5. But we actually did this in the first part of the question, and we found that to be 1 minus 10x plus 40x squared and minus 80x cubed. And don't forget to put and so on there on the end. So all we need to do now is just expand the brackets, doing 1 times each of the terms in here and x times each of the terms in there. So if we do 1 times each of these, we're going to have 1 minus 10x. Alright, but when we get on to 1 times 40x squared and 1 times minus 80x cubed, it's pointless putting them in because we can ignore them. We're told that we can ignore them. So let's just put and so on there. Now we go on to multiply with the x here to each of the terms. So we get x times 1, so that's plus x. But then we get x times minus 10x, which would be minus 10x squared, and we can ignore that. We can ignore the next one, 40x cubed, and so on. So we're going to have more terms which we can ignore. So what does this come to? Well, this is going to be 1, and then we've got minus 10x plus x, which is minus 9x. So we've shown then that this expansion then is roughly the same as 1 minus 9x. Alright? Okay, well that brings us now to the end of this question, and hopefully you've been able to follow my methods.